Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 101. Triple figures, my dude. Although, not for long, because I think we've got 3 episodes left and then series is over. But, yeah, let's make the most of those 3 digits while we can. No pre-show today. We're kicking straight on with Dynamite. And we've got a pretty packed show today, to be honest. Of course, you can see the opening segment here. It's, well, actually, let's go through the opening segment first, because, you know, some of you like to read ahead. But yeah, Jay White returned in the last episode, as we know. So Jay White leads Bullet Club Gold out. He's not the leader, that's CM Punk, but he leads the club out just because, you know, he's back, baby, and just cuts a promo, you know, just saying, I'm back, my loyalty is with CM Punk. You know, obviously we've got the Juice and Devitt problem to deal with, and now that I'm back to full fitness, I am more than happy to lead this charge if Mr. Punk will let me. And of course, CM Punk is like, by all means, Mr. J, you do your thing, baby. We've missed you. Welcome back. And they all kind of hug and guns up each other. But this is interrupted by Juice Robinson, who, of course, is furious. Juice feels betrayed still by Jay White. They were the founders of Bullet Club Gold in a way. They were brothers, and they both were turned on by CM Punk, if you can all remember that far back, which led to the Punk Jay White feud. Well, actually, it kind of continued after that, in which a stipulation was added that if CM Punk wins, Jay White and Juice have to rejoin Bullet Club Gold and obey CM Punk's leadership, to which the offer was accepted. Jay lost. Jay stuck with the plan, but apparently there was meant to be a plan for him and Juice to, you know, refuse it nonetheless. And Juice then was kind of ostracized in a way, but was slowly getting his revenge until the All In Grand Prix came. He was looking forward to that match against Jay White, but Jay White had to pull out through injury. So we've now got, we had Juice and CM Punk, and I believe Juice got the win over CM Punk. But yeah, all the way through this, you know, Prince Devitt's been slowly rising up the ranks, really impressing some weeks, not impressing as much other weeks. Caught the eye of CM Punk, who of course Prince Devitt is the founder of the original Bullet Club, so Punk was kind of maybe teasing him joining Bullet Club, but this of course ended after the Kazuchika Okada match recently, which caused Devitt to become enemy number 1 and a target for Bullet Club Gold, and the returning Juice Robinson backing up Prince Devitt because, you know, of his hatred for Bullet Club Gold. And now Jay White is back to add another layer to the mix, but this segment is just about Jay White slandering Juice Robinson and Prince Devitt, and then Robinson and Devitt coming out to clap back and also set them a challenge for AEW All Out. Juice Robinson wants his hands on both Jay White and CM Punk. Prince Devitt wants his hands on CM Punk and probably Jay White too. And you know what? Jay White and CM Punk will never back down to a challenge, especially being like the power duo that they could potentially be. So the offer is set, or the challenge, I'm sorry, is set, and it is accepted. So at AEW All Out, we will get Jay White and CM Punk taking on Juice Robinson and Prince Devitt. That should be a tasty affair. Now let's focus on what's happening on the show. So we have a rematch between Kairi and Hikaru Shida. That is up next. Last week we had Kyle Fletcher and Matt Cardona face one-on-one. So this week we've got Mark Davis and MJF in singles action. We've also got Matt Jackson in a singles match as well later on tonight. And we've got a fun little Keith Lee Volta in the next couple of weeks where they will choose each other's opponents. And tonight, in the main event, Volta will face whomever Keith Lee chooses to be his opponent as they lead towards their match at All Out as well. And then over on the Collision side, we've got the main event trios number 1 contenders match between La Faction and House of Black. Whoever wins goes on to All Out to face good old Roberts family for that match. We've also got Jon Moxley in action later on in the Collision show. Plus a few other things. We've got an interview with Tony Storm, and then we've got a nice little video package of Hangman Adam Page and the history of his Texas death matches. But let's continue with the show. And as we said, next up is Kairi, the current IWGP Women's Champion and World of Stardom Champion, taking on Hikaru Shida, who recently lost her Stardom title, not her Stardom title, her IWGP title to Kairi. So who's your money on? Let's find out, because this is for the IWGP Women's Championship. Oh my goodness, an 89! Our best women's match of the series happens in episode 101, an 80 bloody 9. Kairi has just, out of nowhere. I mean, I'm really sad that she's getting these numbers now as we're coming to the end of the series, because a Kairi Demi Bennett match, I might just do it for funsies on AEW Dark or something just to see. But yeah, in about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is Kairi who retains. She keeps her IWGP Women's Championship in just under 16 minutes with the insane elbow. Excellent match here. Got the crowd buzzing. And what a way to kick off the matches of AEW Dynamite. And post-match, Hikaru Shida has admitted that Kairi is the better performer, the better wrestler. So they celebrate together in ring. But that celebration is short-lived as Mercedes Moné comes out and interrupts the niceties and says, Kairi, you seem to be a pretty great defending champion, so how about we run it back all the way back to Battle of the Belts, way back when, and me and you face off for that title one more time. And to which Kairi raises her belt and nods and says, you're on. So next week, I believe, let me check my notes. Next week, we will have a IWGP Women's Championship match again. It will be Kairi looking to defend this time against Mercedes Moné. That should be a pretty great match, to be fair. Mercedes has kind of been titleless for way too long in this series. I think her only title has been the IWGP Women's, which she did lose quite early-ish on into the series. So, yeah, I think she's deserving of this. Keep in mind, Mercedes was gone for a couple of months to film a TV show or film, so you know, it's on her. If she was still here, she probably would have had a reign or two, but hey-ho. Following on from this, though, we've got the Aussie Open Best Broski single bout. MJF taking on Mark Davis. Let's see what happens in that one. An 84, I'll take that. Mark Davis with a 75. About that had great wrestling and good heat. MJF gets the win. He defeats Mark Davis by a fast roll-up in 18 minutes. Davis in amazing form. A 75 from Davis. Normally we get better than that, but that is either in tag team matches or in a all-out brawl. Two of which aren't happening here. And MJF, of course, you know, super consistent, 86 rating and a nice win. So it seems like it's one apiece, because I believe Kyle Fletcher won last week, MJF won this week. It's even Stevens for these guys as they head into AEW All Out. You know, Aussie Open come out of nowhere and have been an awesome tag team in this series. And the Best Broskis have just been amazing since day one of their creation. After this, we do have tag team action, and it is between Best Friends, Trent Beretta and Chucky T, facing off against ELP and ELG. An 80, I wasn't expecting this. Trent Beretta with a 73. Wow, we also actually have news before this match that commentary are putting over. Chucky T has handed his notice in, and he will be leaving AEW at the end of this month. No specific reason. He's just said, I think it's time for me to move on. So, you know, I thought I'd give the Best Friends a win, that we might feature them again in the coming weeks. You know, just a nice little see you later, mate, hurrah. But Trent does also have Roppongi Vice to fall back on, which is always my preference. But we love Chucky T. How can you not love Chucky T? So he gets a lovely little win here when Trent Beretta pins El Fantasma with a strong 0. Trent with a 73, though. Chucky with a 69. Fantasma with a 69. Everyone performing really well compared to their usual numbers. Cool, I'll take that. Nice little random tag team match. We head backstage now, though, as Nick Jackson is not a happy buck. He confronts Nigel about the shenanigans that took place last week, and surely the match at All Out cannot stand based on how it was done. And Nigel says, look, families argue, brothers fall out, and from my experience in the wrestling industry, when two brothers who are as talented as you both are fall out, there is only one way to settle it, and that is in the ring. So I'm sorry, Nick, but the match at AEW All Out stands, and you will be facing your brother 1-on-1. And Nick's just like, and just walks out. So yeah, that match is definitely happening. If you missed last week to see how that match happened, what are you doing here? Go back, because last week's episode was bonkers. But we continue with Nigel as he informs Keith Lee and Volta of, the little fun thing we're doing over the next couple of weeks. He says, tonight, Volta, as you know, you will be in action in the main event. Keith, you have to choose Volta's opponent. You don't have to say who it is now, but just make sure you've got someone ready for the main event to come out and challenge Volta. And remember, it can't be yourself. And Keith's like, don't worry, Nigel, I've already got someone in mind. And they kind of just disperse. But heading back to the ring now, we've got Matt Jackson in action as he takes on AR Fox. And pretty good match, to be fair. Matt Jackson defeats AR Fox in just over 15 minutes with a simple moonsault. Nice and easy. Ringside was actually, well, not ringside, but up in the studio, but like the balcony bits where they put people, like the press area. Nick Jackson is up there just watching his brother do his thing, because he's trying to study him now to make sure that he hasn't learnt anything new during his time off. And it seems to be regular old Matt Jackson, super kicks, flips, the huge, which we all know and love. So yeah, this is going to be hopefully a good match at All Out, but we'll have to wait and see. Following on from this, though, we have got Renee doing her thing as she talks to Juice Robinson and Prince Devitt about the match announcement at the beginning of the show. Juice Robinson is hyped. You know what he's like. His boy can't stand still, whereas Prince Devitt is a lot cooler, a lot calmer, a lot more collected, and has a little grin on his face, even though it doesn't look like it in the picture. And they just say that they are more than ready for this match. Juice is like, I've been waiting to get my hands on both these men, and I get to do it at the same time. And I've got my boy Prince Devitt here. He knows what Bullet Club means. He knows what brotherhood means. So yeah, teaming up with him is going to be incredible. So yeah, should be a good tag team match, but we will have to wait and see. This does take us to our main event, and it is Volta taking on Keith Lee's pick, Miro. Oh, a 95. Whoa. And in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat, Volta gets the win in just 1 second over 15 minutes with a big old powerbomb. Miro with a 90, Volta with a 95. Oh, and also other news, CJ Perry has retired from wrestling. Not that we ever used her for that anyway, but she's now retired. So she's just purely personality manager. But yeah, 95 to end the show. This has been a really good Dynamite. Like, I'm very happy. And of course, we can see here that ringside is Keith Lee watching on. And post-match, Keith Lee goes to get into the ring, but only gets as far as the ropes as Volta stares him down. And it looks like they're both ready to go. But they both know, keep the distance, be respectful-ish. And wait for the clash at AEW All Out. So we end the show with the big man stare down. And just as we go off air, Chris Jericho just reminds us all that Volta will be selecting Keith Lee's opponent next week. So we've got that to look forward to on Dynamite as well. And yeah, that wraps up Dynamite. Let's see how we did. A 93. Oh, amazing. So yeah, we got two matches? No, one match confirmed for All Out because we knew about the rest. Yeah, it's going to be Jay White and CM Punk taking on Juice Robinson and Prince Devitt. Of course, the final episode before All Out, I will recap, all of the matches. Kyrie defeats Shida in an 89, easily our best women's match of the whole series, I believe. Only to be challenged by Mercedes Moné immediately afterwards. So next week we'll be getting that, as well as Keith Lee versus Volta's pick. Matt and Nick Jackson, it's official, it's definitely happening. And yeah, not much else to say about this show, just some really good action. So let's take a pause here. I'm going to go ahead and book Collision, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, and here we are for Collision, and again, no pre-show, because, we fitted it all in. And what a way to start the show as well. Superb wrestling, Jon Moxley, Konosuke Takeshita, 87 rated match. Jon Moxley gets the win in 19 minutes with the paradigm shift. Jon Moxley with a 97, Takeshita with an 80. They got pretty good chemistry as well. That's awesome to see. Got the show off to a strong start. We'll ignore that red writing, but yeah, Jon Moxley is a changed man. Since losing that belt and having Brock Lesnar in his mind, he's just full of rage, and whether the bell goes or not, the fight doesn't end until Moxley says so. Post-match, Jon Moxley continues his brutal beatdown of Konosuke Takeshita, choking him out with the Bulldog choke. And he grabs the mic and just says, I hope you're watching, Brock, because that is a taste of what you will be getting at All Out when I get you one-on-one in a cage. So yeah, Brock Lesnar, I'm sure he is watching, even though he probably wouldn't admit it. Yeah, we're going to be getting that at All Out, as you already know. Cage match, Moxley, Brock, one-on-one, no interference at all. The TCC have been told to back out. QT Marshall has already said he's got no business in that. He just brought Brock in. He's not like an advocate in any way. But yeah, nice, strong opening match. Hope Takeshita's alright. Might be the last we see of Takeshita, so let's just quickly wave at the screen. There we go. We go backstage now, where Pac and Kenny Omega are sitting in Tony Khan's office. Ooh, a 100. And Tony Khan is just, first of all, congratulating Pac for, his recent win, new World Heavyweight Champion. Long time coming in Tony Khan's mind. And also a huge congratulations to Kenny Omega, not just winning the inaugural All In Grand Prix, but also defeating Keith Lee in, you could say, rematch to really secure that place. Tony says that he's got the contract here. It's official. It will be Pac and Kenny Omega in the main event for AEW's biggest prize, the World Heavyweight Championship. So, there's a little bit of there's not really much talk from Kenny. Pac's very vocal, he's very like, you sure you want to sign this, Kenny? Like, I'm going to beat you, blah, blah, blah. He's being a cocky little shit. But Pac grabs the clipboard, writes down his name, does his signature and all that shit. And then he just slides it over to Kenny, who does the exact same thing. Kenny passes it back to Tony Khan. And just as Kenny kind of gets up to leave, Pac just stands in his way and he's like, oh, sorry, after you. And Kenny just like brushes by. So Kenny's all business now. He's very serious. He wants the title, and Pac is just really enjoying being world champion, as anyone would. But yeah, it's signed. It's official. Whoop whoop. It's the sound of the police. It's not. It's actually Pac and Kenny Omega. But yeah, it's official. Not much else to say. 100 rated segment. Get to see Tony's beautiful little face. Let's move on. And we got some tag team action. It's Darby Allin and Nick Wayne facing off against the Kingdom. Decent wrestling, not much heat. Darby Allin and Nick Wayne get the win in 11 minutes when Darby wins with a coffin drop. Darby with an 87 again. Shot out of nowhere, my boy. What's happening? Nick Wayne 62, and then yeah, Kingdom bang average. You know how it is. Got the crowd buzzing though, which we like to see. And following on from this is another tag team match, but a very interesting, a very Teddy Long-esque match. It is the team of Jamie Hayter and Rebecca Knox taking on Demi Bennett and Toni Storm. So a nice little preview, you could say, of our two women's title matches that will be at All Out. So yeah, let's see what happens here. 79, in about that had great wrestling and good heat. Jamie Hayter and Rebecca Knox win when Demi Bennett and Toni Storm, intentionally got herself counted out while facing Jamie Hayter. Toni was the weak link with a 71, which isn't too bad. Everyone else over 80, which is awesome to see. 79, it's fine. It does the job. But yet Toni Storm purposely getting herself counted out. She's like, I'm done with this. See you later. Demi Bennett's like, if she's leaving, I'm leaving. Fair enough. So Jamie Hayter and Rebecca Knox get the win, but is it really a win? I don't know. We go to advert break now, but coming back, we have got El Hijo del Vikingo. Can he continue this incredible run of wins that he's had as of late as he faces Johnny Gargano? Of course he can. And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, El Hijo del Vikingo defeats Johnny Gargano in 17 minutes with the 6:30 senton. Unfortunately, though, Vikingo has sustained a separated shoulder. Hopefully, that's not too bad of an injury. But he still gets the win, an 83, which is awesome. A 71 from Johnny Gargano. 83, pretty good. It probably would have been better if he didn't get injured. Got the crowd buzzing. The reason why I'm a little bit concerned about this is because post-match, Bryan Danielson makes his appearance on AEW Collision as he says, Vikingo, I've been watching your matches week in, week out. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that you are probably one of the best in-ring performers, not just in the light heavyweight, cruiserweight kind of division, but just in general. And it would be an honor if we faced each other for my World Light Heavyweight Championship at AEW All Out. So what do you say? And of course the crowd are like, yes, yes, yes. And Vikingo, nursing his shoulder, shakes Bryan Danielson's hand. So that match is official, but we will have to check Vikingo's injury, of course. But providing the injury is gone within the next 8 days, that match will be happening. If not, then I don't know what we'll do. We might just have to miss it. But for now, let's pencil it in. Danielson, Vikingo, the World Light Heavyweight Championship. Following on from this, though, Renee catches up with Tony Storm backstage and just says, Tony, what was that about? Like, why are you leaving? And Tony's like, I need rest before my match. Why would they put me in a match with not just against my opponent, but another fierce woman in this division? Are they trying to injure me? Are they trying to make me fatigued ahead of my title match at All Out? No, I'm not going to be wrestling until then. I'm going to go rest. Okay? So, see you later. I'll see you all at All Out. So, Tony Storm is a little bit peeved that she was forced to be in a match a mere, week and a bit ahead of All Out. So, yeah, it looks like Tony's having a little break. She's going to have a little week off, get a little bit of rest and relaxation, and then she will be back to face Rebecca Knox for that international title. We then get a little video package here of Hangman Adam Page and his history of Texas Death Matches. As we know, in real life, he's had a bunch of them. As far as I'm aware, off the top of my head, there's a Swerve one, which obviously kind of overlaps with this series in all of that stuff. But I remember he had one with Lance Archer. That one was lit. He's had one with Punk, I think. And he's had another one with someone. And of course, on the indies and stuff, he's been in his fair few, death matches, hardcore matches, the Stadium Stampedes as well. They could be quite brutal. So yeah, Hangman has had his fair history of, gory matches, whereas Bandido is more new to this kind of world. So Hangman says, I've got the advantage, and even if I didn't, I would still have the advantage because, let's be honest, it's Bandido. I'm looking to crush him and rip that mask off his face. So, yeah, nice little package here. Not really much to say. It's more of a time filler. But we do make our way to the main event now, and it is La Facción. So it's Rush, Andrade, and Dralistico taking on the House of Black, which of course is Malachi, Brody, and Ilya. Who's your money on? The winner will go to AEW All Out to face the Roberts family for the World Trios titles. Let's find out. 78. Yeah, there's a lot of writing here. Ignore all this writing. In a decent match, La Facción and House of Black go to a double count out. And the reason for this in 22 minutes is because we had to do them all individually. But Drew Galloway, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler essentially attack everyone. The match was dragging. Jake Roberts was like, I've had enough. Get in there, boys. And it just becomes complete carnage. All men are on the outside battering each other. It's pure chaos. The numbers aren't even that great. Ilya and Rush in the 80s. Andrade 78. The rest of them 60s and 50s. So yeah, it's just pure chaos. There's no winner. The referee's just called time. He's gone, no, draw. Everyone loses. To which Nigel comes out and he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. stop it, stop it, stop it. And eventually they kind of all break up a little bit. And he says, that's it, I've had enough. Jake, you told me to find you an opponent. This match was to decide that opponent, but you have ruined that. So, I guess I have to make a decision, don't I? So at AEW All Out, it will be the Roberts family defending their World Trios Championships against La Facción. And of course, House of Black are like, what? What? And he goes, and House of Black. That's right, it will be a 3-way trios match. And to avoid any of these shenanigans happening, it will be a no disqualification as well. So, big news. That, I believe, is our final match confirmed. Obviously, if Vikingo's injured, we might sub someone in, or we might just leave it off the card. But that is the card finalised a week and a bit before our final show of the series. The final match is decided. It will be the Roberts family taking on both La Facción and House of Black in a 3-way, no disqualification trios match. And that is how we end Collision. 84. Not as good as Dynamite. I mean, there was potential for some really good matches. Of course, if Vikingo wasn't injured, that would have got higher. I feel like if this match wasn't a count out, it would have got higher. I'm surprised that the Hangman segment was only an 81. And yeah, this was just pure chaos. But hey ho, it should be a good match at All Out. So yeah, 84, fair enough. We'll take it. I will check Vikingo's status. Actually, I'll check it now so that we all know what's happening. So let me end here. I'll meet you guys back in the office, which you haven't seen the office in a while. And we will check Vikingo's medical status. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Here we are in our medical section, and it's bad news. El Hijo del Vikingo has a separated shoulder, which I didn't think would be that bad, to be honest. I thought, pop that fucker back in and you're all good. But unfortunately, he can only work angles, and he's out for a month, 26 days. So that means that the Bryan Danielson El Hijo del Vikingo match, annoyingly, will not go ahead. So we'll have to have a think and see what happens there. We've got 1 week until then. We're either going to drop the match, or we'll have someone step up and challenge. We'll see. But yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. The card is finalised for now, although I've already had a mini brainwave of what we can do because it coincides with another announcement that's happening next week. So yeah, that's it. Please oh yeah, El Phantasmo broke his leg like 2 days ago. He's out for 6 months. We literally saw him in this episode. I'm sad that Eddie Kingston's been out for so long as well, but we're going off on a track. You guys can read all this yourself. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Next week is the go home shows for All Out. I'm very excited. You should be too. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you there. But please, in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all in the next one.